Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm gonna teach you about embryology. It's divided into three parts: pre-embryonic, embryonic. So I will teach what is fertilization. Fertilization is fusion of egg and sperm. So on the day one, what we call fertilization. The day two after fertilization, we have two cell stage, embryo with the two cell stage. On day three, we have formation of morula. Morula means crab-like structures. It's a six cell stage, and remember that eight cell stage is 2D protein. 2D potent means it can convert into any it can convert into any cell. On to day 4, we have blastocyst. As the I can show you from this diagram. This 4 on the day 4, we early blastocyst is formed, which means a fluid-filled cavity appears in morula, and you can see as soon as morula enters the uterine cavity, the blood input and it also loses the placenta layer. As you can see, this lining with more thick covering, it loses its zona pellucida, and this cell grabs like structures of morula is converted into two 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 types of cells: the inner cell mass and the outer cell mass. The blue one is the outer cell mass, and the lining of the fluid cavity, which is these thin one type of cells forming the layer is trophoblast, and it's losing its zona pellucida. Finally, it reaches the it reaches the site of adhesion, site of implantation. This is the last blastocyst, and the inner mass is called endoblast, and the outer mass forms the trophoblast, and it's you can see this uterine stroma, uterine epithelium, blastocyst, embryo. Inner mass forms the embryo proper in the future, and the trophoblast forms the future placenta and fetal membrane. Implantation is the process. All the events are summarized here. The first week as the pre-ovulatory follicles, as the LH surge rises, and that leads to the ovulation. The ovum within the 20 to 24 hours, ovum gets fertilized, and it converts into 2 cell stage and 4 cell stage, and finally the morula enters the uterine cavity. It requires some fluids, and then it's known as blastocyst. The blastocyst then converts into inner mass, cell mass, trophoblast, and then the blastocyst loses its zona pellucida and it attaches to the uterine wall. Most the two-thirds of cases, it attaches to the posterior wall, and in one-third of cases, it attaches to the anterior wall. Implantation begins 6-7 days after the fertilization, and it is approximately 20 to 21st day of regular menstrual cycle. There are three phases. It's not really important to know about them, but I can tell you there are some molecules you will study in inflammation like apposition. It begins to the blastocyst begins to attach. It is known as apposition. Is selected molecules. Then it adhere to the uterine cavity. It's known integral invasions. And finally, the invasion is due to enzyme proteinases. This all occurs during the first week. Most coincide position surface of upper uterine segment, posterior surface of the upper uterine. In two-thirds of cases, site of implantation is posterior surface of upper uterine, anterior surface of upper uterine, and one-third of cases anterior surface of upper uterine. Implantation, and in some females, bleeding occurs this time. Implantation is known as Hartmann cell. After implantation, endometrium is called as decidual, and the decidual becomes differentiated into decidual basilis, decidual which lies between the embryo and the myometrium, decidual capitularis, what covers the embryo and on the uterine cavity side, and the rest of the decidual is known as decidual peridalis. In other words, obliteration of the decidual space is completed in 14 to 16 days. On further, during 8 day, as you see, the trophoblastic layer is differentiated into an inner cells. These are singular dot cells, dotted cells. You can see these are the cytotrophoblast, and the outer and multinucleated zone is without any distinct cell borders are known as syncytial trophoblast. Trophoblast formed inside cytotrophoblast is tissue of trophoblast. These are the hormone syncytial trophoblast are the hormone factory of the placenta. On the other hand, cytotrophoblast on the other hand, the cytotrophoblast near the cytoplasm forms villi-like structures. Cytotrophoblast forms. Let me show you. Cytotrophoblast forms villi-like structure called as chorion frondosome. This chorion frondosome forms fetal side of the placenta, and the rest of the cytotrophoblast remains smooth and forms chorion lavi, or simply chorion. The most important function of cytotrophoblast is it prevents the pregnancy-induced hypertension. The cytoplasm thus forms a fetal cytoplasma and fetal membranes, chorion, as you know, the amnion chorion. The inner cell mass forms the entire embryo, and the first germ layer to be formed is endoderm. By 7 days after fertilization, all three germ layers are formed. By 21 day, 21, 21st days after 21 days after fertilization. What are you going to relate it? Thank you for listening.